redefining diversity. So first I want to ask, even what is it that we think diversity is? And why do we need to redefine it? And first I want to say there's a new normal out there. And to understand our new normal, first I think it's a good idea to take a look at our history. How many of you have taken Healing Racism course in the room? Okay, so a few people have taken it. We played that video because that was supposed to let us know in some way that we are all the same. So it plays this beautiful music that says it's in every one of us to be wise. And then it shows the faces of different ethnicities sort of blending into each other. And you come away from that video and you feel really good. Like you feel, oh yes, we're all part of the same race, the human race. But then what happens? You go home and kind of nothing happens. You just feel a little bit better, but is your life any different? Out of 800 union employees in People's Gas, the meter readers, the meter reader fixers, the people who fixed the potholes, whatever it is they did, I got the privilege to be the only female. So there I was, 21 years of age. I was a meter reader. I had a uniform and everything, and it was really cool because I guess up to that time, it was just impossible that a female could read a meter. Graphic pictures from Playboy would come around the office with my name all over it. I was sent to the worst and the most dangerous neighborhoods. I had a gun held on me twice. One attempt at intimidation after the other to get me to quit. At the time, I just shrugged it off, just the times. Sexual harassment wasn't a word. There was only discrimination and anti-discrimination. And to be honest, I think I just felt so lucky to be making that money and getting it through college that I didn't. I also used to look at the Playboy pictures and think I wish. That's a whole different issue. Previously, the only two groups out there, and you're not going to believe this, there were really only two groups trying to change behavior. And I don't mean attitudes, by the way, I mean behavior. I want somebody to guess. Who was the first big organization out there to try and change behavior? Yes, absolutely. It was the military. When you think about it, due to the anti-discrimination laws and the desegregation laws before then, military units were now integrated. And you don't want to be shot at when somebody throws you under the bus because of the color of your skin. So they had to enact the first programs. As a matter of fact, the racial barriers were so high that they would put 1 full week into this kind of training. This guy is your ally here, foxhole training. So the second group that did this kind of training were multinational corporations. They didn't have the term globalization then either. So you can see terminology changes, the way we think about life changes, and our language begins to change and adapt. And why were big global corporations doing this now? What was in it for them? Money, right? Executives now were doing business in many different cultures. Some were making such terrible cultural faux pas, with that America's all right and everybody else is just background, that they were losing millions and millions of dollars in deals. We now not only have laws that prevented actual bias at work and school and sports, but we had a full and informal set of unwritten laws that were actually dictating our speech and our mannerisms, things that we became very, very, very self-conscious about. So when we discuss topics of race, culture, religion, gender, or disability, we found that suddenly these issues were just fraught with these new rules. And by the way, you wouldn't go to jail for ignoring those rules, but you could lose your job. You could lose your social status, all these terrible things. So the problem with political correctness is that it made normal people like you and me and all of us in this room, actually really terrified to enter into conversations with other normal people. Even within groups like white people to white people or black people to black people, you people, they didn't know what they could say and what they couldn't say, and so And I think we all have to be aware of that. We do have to think about that. But when they freeze us from being, our true and authentic selves, then something's wrong. Because then they're actually a blockade to opening up relationships. Also, at this time, we started really arguing a lot about whose version of God was right. We had the right, the far right, the left, the no God, the atheist. It was crazy. I had one cartoon I should have put up here, but it's about this little boy, and he's with two other little boys. He was sent to the office, and one kid cheated, and I don't know, the other kid hit somebody. They said, "What'd you do?" And he said, "It was Christmas." We can't keep hanging on to these arbitrary measures of who we are. We have to expand that notion, even more so, because those arbitrary notions are going to fall away. Okay? All right, you don't notice her age, her race, or her gender? Of course you do. She's a very, very old, right, Asian woman. We notice. Our brains are wired to notice. Here's the thing. Do you think and assume anything about her from that? The fact that you notice is not problematic. There's a really, really cute young black guy, right? We notice. Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. We notice. You take a breath and you invite someone into your home, your den, your neighbor, right? Or you get their email. You tell them about a cookie demonstration that you're going to. You text them about a volunteer thing that you're participating in. You create meaningful opportunities to develop real relationships based on commonality, not on skin color, on commonality. You create your own coalitions. You begin that process yourself. My mother used to say that sometimes we just need to bear the discomfort. She was right. By using the language of internal diversity, we can create new coalitions, communities, and circles of interest. I encourage you, really encourage you, to deeply enrich your lives. All of us have the ability to see the internal diversity within ourselves and inside of others. What is this photo? Who wants to think? Is it a dance class? Is it a cooking class? Is it a neighborhood group? Doctors Without Borders? Golfers? I don't know, I think it's the GD bench online. Anyway, thank you very, very much. Thank you again.